door. Wait, this door is open, that door is open.
Exactly. Like I didn't ask you, why did you say it?
Those are poor identity people that people relate to.
Huh? Me.
You notice the girl that she's in a room that she does this kind of the room she will touch both walls. Why would I argue with someone like that? True.
Well, what do we have here? You guys were telling me you want me on YouTube, you want me on YouTube, you want me on YouTube. Well, guess what? I'm on your screen with my new podcast called Identity. Well, on this podcast, I'm not only gonna show my identity, of course, I'm gonna spill some tea alongside your faves as well. I'm gonna bring different guests on my show, and you guys are gonna get to know more about them. I'm gonna ask some juicy questions and everything within the circle. But before we get into the juicy part, because I know you guys are watching the trailer and you guys are wanting to see your faves real bad, I had to start off with a get to know me, but I had to give it a little twist. I had to bring my besties on the stage. Meet TZ. Her name is Tazana, but we call her TZ. And this is Bianca, but we call her Binksy. So we're gonna be addressing them as TZ and Binksy. Are you guys happy to be on my show?
Period. Yeah.
You guys are my first guests. And they're kind of shy, you guys, please. Like, they're very, very shy. They are not camera people. They are not influencers or content creators. So please, bear with them when you guys see them looking down or anything. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing a get to know me, but through my friends. Okay? I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and I picked a few questions, and we're going to be answering them alongside my friends. So, should I ask you guys questions, or?
You should.
Oh, perfect. You guys know me? But I feel like we should first start with an intro. How did we get to know each other? How did I know you guys?
We met in high school.
Don't be shy. Speak!
We met in high school.
I also met Bianca in high school. I went to, for those that don't know, I went to Mary Queen of Peace Girls School from my 8th grade to my 9th grade, right? And then my 10th grade, I moved to Rhodes Park. And then I stayed there for one term, but then I loved the experience. People there were nice, but I got used to being in an environment where there are girls. So I was like, I don't want to be at this school anymore. So I stayed there for one term. But then I didn't want to go back to Mary Queen, and time was moving. So the following term, I went to St. Ignatius, and I was also there for one term. Was it one term or 2 terms? One?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I stayed at St. Ignatius for one term, and then I went...
Actually two, right? Because you came back in grade 11.
I came back, exactly. So I was at St. Ignatius for 2 terms, and then I went back to Mary Queen, which was a bit crazy. I'm gonna share my experience later on. So when I went back to Mary Queen, that's when I became friends with you guys in 11th grade or 12th grade?
11th grade.
8th grade.
Oh yeah, so basically I knew these guys in my 8th grade, but we're not like close, we're not like besties. I had other friends throughout the 2 years. And then in my 11th grade, when I went back to Mary Queen, it was very, very, what's the word? It was like a weird feeling. You know, when you leave a place and then there are new people in the environment and they get to know each other. And now I felt out of place, and like, the people I was friends with when I was in my 8th and 9th grade, we couldn't like click as much as we used to click. So I had to look for new friends, and then eventually I met you guys, right?
Your rebound friends.
No, you're not my rebound friends. They're like the friends I made.
Like, look at you guys, was shit together. Like, so yeah,
That was a good question though.
no, you guys, you know I love you guys. So,
Love you too.
Yeah, but what made us friends again, because we took the same course. I was never gonna take computer science or geography. Like, no, we took HE.
Geography. Heavy or not taking geography.
We took HE, and that's how we got to click, right?
Yeah.
You guys love the experience of everything?
I would say for me it was bittersweet. It had its good moments when I was with my friends.
Yeah.
When we were taking HE, even our teacher at that moment, she was gang, bro.
Yeah. Did she love your experience?
No.
She did? She hated our experience there. For me, I loved my experience. But then towards the end, let me even tell you guys how we became friends. Like, one day I just woke up and I just unfriended everybody in my class. Like, I stopped speaking to almost the whole class for reasons I'm not gonna say on this platform. But I stopped speaking to the whole class, and I'm like, who is gonna be my friend now that I don't speak to anybody? And then I decided to make you guys my friend. Not that you guys are my rebound friends, but like that's what happened. That's what happened, yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask you guys a few questions about me, and let's see how well you know me. I hope you guys explain it nicely so the people out there get to know me more. Because I feel like you guys think that you know me, but you actually don't know me. Let me show you guys that you don't know me. What are my full names?
Gracious Matthew Kaoma. I think everybody knows Matthew, so Gracious Wupe Kaoma.
You guys are probably wondering, like, how is it Gracious Matthew Wupe Kauma? When I was born, right, my actual names, like, from birth are Gracious Wupe Kauma. But in my 7th grade, I feel like my dad was just like, we have 3 girls and we don't have any son. What am I gonna do? I want a son and I don't have a son, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna name my firstborn Matthew, because that's his first name. So he named me Matthew. So now my NRC, everything just says Gracious Matthew Kauma. So yeah. Okay, another question you guys asked me is, how did I get into content? Do you guys want to answer that? When do you guys think I started content actually?
I think you started. She's always wanted to be on the internet, on people's phones. She always wanted to be. That's Gracious Karma. She always wanted that lifestyle. But when lockdown hit, that's when she was exploring her options. I remember that's when she, like, Instagram. She wasn't even on TikTok that much. Instagram started to, she even had.
I would wake up like every single time at 16. That was when taking pictures of the sun when eat.
So she's gonna say that, like, oh, it means sun kiss.
Yeah. Every single time, 16 hours sharp, I would go take pictures when the sun was out. And that's how I just started content. But then, as she said, I always wanted to be a content creator. And if you ask me like 5 years ago saying, Grace, do you know in the next 5 years you're going to be famous? I'd have been like, duh. That's the plan. That's what happens when I stick to the plan. I've always wanted to be a content creator. But I took content creation seriously when I graduated from high school, right? Sometime after high school.
Like the whole first,
Yeah, so like I started content like 4 years ago and I did everything, you guys. Like I didn't just find my niche as in beauty lifestyle content. No, I danced on TikTok.
I actually went for lessons.
I went.
Makeup. She wanted to be a DJ.
Oh my god! I actually wanted to be a DJ, guys. I have a whole DJ set. I've never ever used it ever, not even once. But I bought it.
And your dad.
Actually, I went to my dad and I said, like, if you actually love me for my birthday, they're gonna get me a DJ thing. And my dad was so against it, but anything for me. So yeah, that's how I started my content. Like I always, like when I was younger, and I used to do my makeup a whole lot. So, but I never used to record it because like there was nothing like recording. So when I started content, I would also do makeup videos and I would do dance videos. I would do like it got to a point where I almost became a comedian. Like I always became a comedian, but then with time I started to grow and I started to say, okay, this no, this that, this that. So that's how I came to stick to my niche, which is beauty and lifestyle and fashion sometimes. So yeah. Another question these guys asked me is, how did I build my confidence? Do you guys think I'm confident?
I always thought you always had.
I've always been confident, you guys. And also, I feel like it's just something. I feel my confidence really stems from my mom. When you come from an African household where your mom is a savage, she
doesn't tolerate.
My mom was never the type to go home and say, my friend, I said I'm ugly. And she say, you're so pretty, baby. She'll say, now you're my like me, what you papa mean? So like she's never been the type. Like she's never been that. She always tells me like, I don't want to say she's been rough, but she's instilled that thing in me where I now feel like you can't tell me that, I can't be bullied. Like you can't tell me I'm not pretty.
And I really feel like that helps kids.
Yeah.
Don't baby your kids.
Yeah,
like,
no, baby, you're so pretty. No. For me, I'm also gonna be a harsh mom. Time. Like I'm gonna be kind, but I'm also going to be harsh because her being harsh is now.
All the time. Like, don't get bullied.
she's on a plan. She's on a plan. She can actually discipline your kids.
My confidence is started from somewhere. It's not something that I trained myself into. It's just like my mom would always tell me like, Iwe. So like,
it's actually a good thing.
It is actually a good thing. I'm actually like happy that my mom did that. Okay. You guys also asked, what challenges have you faced in your journey as a content creator? I really haven't faced so many challenges because for me, even though I find the header in front of me, right, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tackle it gracefully because it's something I've always loved to do. It's not like, no, like this, like, okay, this is what's in front of me and I'm gonna tackle it. So I really haven't faced challenges. You guys also asked, how do I feel about having displayed my life in the public eye? Like I said, this was the plan from the beginning. Like when I was young, I told myself I'm gonna be a superstar. Like I'm gonna be a superstar. I would watch Bonang. She's my inspiration. Oh my gosh, I love her. Damn! I would watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm like, a life in fire. Where are telling me cut the cameras? What? I knew this is what I wanted. So for me, it's like, yes, like I feel nice. But then now that I'm in it, I feel like it gives me anxiety sometimes because people are very opinionated nowadays. People have different opinions. So now I have to censor what I put out. I can't always put out everything. And it just gives me anxiety.
Thank God for the laws that have
Thank
been
God for the
set.
laws, actually. Thank God for the laws. So it gives me anxiety sometimes, but I love it because it's one for myself, you know? You guys also asked, what advice would I give to my younger self? What advice would you give to your younger self?
It gets better. It really gets better. And put God first. Always.
I would say the same. In like, don't dwell on the past. You know.
Don't put boys first also.
Yeah. For me, I would tell myself to, like, I've always been one person that likes to rush things. Like, I want to be a millionaire by tomorrow. I want to be famous by tomorrow. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I would tell my younger self to just take one step at a time, one day at a time. Everything happens at its own pace at the correct time. So I'd always tell my younger self, like, be patient, be kind with yourself. And also, in as much as I'm confident, and I've always been confident even in high school, but I'd also tell myself, like, people's opinion doesn't matter because sometimes people would say mean stuff to me and it would get to me. Like, I feel like, okay, I'm not worthy of this, I'm not pretty enough, but I'll tell myself, like, you know what, people's opinion about you doesn't matter at all. Because if the world crucified a perfect man,
Who are you?
who are you?
That they won't crucify you.
Hey,
In fact, stab you.
I just remind myself that, like, I would tell myself, be patient, everything happens at the right time. I really wanted to be, you know how popular, I wouldn't say I'm famous, I'll just say I'm popular, right? I wanted to be popular like 4 years ago, and it would have never worked. But now I feel like everything's happening at the right time. I wanted to start YouTube, like, I even have an old YouTube account. I wanted to have it like 4 years ago, but I had nothing.
Time is.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Someone knows the Bible anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys also asked, how do I deal with fear of something not going my way?
Okay. She always reads the Bible. Like she just distances herself from everybody. Wait, hold up. Can you cut that?
Okay, let me ask again.
a question
Let me ask again. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys also asked, how do I deal with the fear of something not going my way?
She always distances herself from everybody. Watches this.
Kizungu chavuta.
No, continue.
It's okay.
Maybe that's the group that know, like, actually, continue. You ask again.
The question's already there.
The question's already there, so just answer. Just say.
Okay, no, for
Yeah, just not going my way.
she prays. Like she distances herself from everybody. It's like a whole worship thing, like for a week or so. So yeah.
I'm also answering that.
Yeah.
No.
How do you think I do? How do you think
I really don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I
Okay.
really, like, I feel like she just calls me and she starts complaining. I really don't talk much. Like, I know she reads the Bible, she prays. Yes, she has a book where she writes. She manifests, by the way.
It past 24.
Yeah, but also another thing of how I do. I'm such whatever happens and life must go on person. Like, I don't dwell on things that don't go my way. I'm always looking for a way out instead of crying about it. So I usually pray, and then immediately after praying, I need to, like, go back to the drawing board. In my manifestation book, I'm like, how do I sort this out?
But there are those that feel like crying about it.
Yeah, but also those that also just, if you go through things and or things are not going your way, you're scared of things. You know, I feel like it's better to try and things don't go your way than not try at all. So if you have that mentality of, like, it's better I try and things don't go my way, that's perfect. And also if you just have a mentality of looking ahead, like, guys, I have failed in life at different points with different things, but I've always looked forward because I'm always looking, because I need to get that money. And me crying is not gonna get me that money, honey. It's not gonna get me that money. You guys also asked, what keeps me going every day? The life I want to live. I want to eat grapes on a private jet. I want to shake this ass on a yacht in Dubai. Oh my God. The way I don't ever want poverty in my life. I didn't cancel it this moment. I cancel. Like, the life I see myself living the next 5 years, That's what keeps me going. Every single day, I'm like, I gotta get that bag, honey. I gotta get that bag now. So that's what keeps me going. Another question you guys asked is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Guys, I don't even see myself tomorrow. Like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? But if you ask me, should I tell you? I'm not gonna tell you because there's a witch somewhere watching. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna see, but it's something nice. Something nice, just not involves grapes on a private jet. And the last question you guys asked me is, did you think you would get this far? Like I said, if you asked me 5 years ago, guys, do you think you're gonna be in front of the camera?
Yeah.
I said, yes! Hell yeah! That is the plan. So yes, I would have been like, duh, yes, I do.
I'd like to ask you a question, like,
Okay.
seeing how you're growing in content creation, you're one of Zambia's youngest, biggest influencers. Would you let your child be an influencer?
I would love for my child to be in front of the camera as well, but I'm not gonna force them. I'm gonna be a parent that's gonna let their kids do what they want, because for me, my dad has let me do what I want, because he's seen that if they're responsible, of course. If they're responsible, I'm gonna let them do what they want. If they wanna be in front of the camera, please let me teach you. I would say, hey guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But if they wanna go the corporate way, that's fine. I'm gonna be a parent that's gonna let their child explore what they want. As long as I see the maturity in them and they're responsible enough, I have no problem. I'm not gonna be a parent and say, oh, go to school or don't go to school. Like, I'm not gonna be that kind of the corporate way. Okay.
And at what age would you want your kids to be doing those things? Like,
Do what you, if 2 years, or in fact, when you guys are gonna see me get married, you're gonna see me give birth, my just gonna be 2 years, you're gonna see them on this platform. And if they're 12 years and they want to continue, they're gonna continue. Like, I'm not very, very like secretive, like, oh my gosh, my child. Maybe if my husband doesn't allow me to post my child, that's fine. My husband, that's fine. But for me, you guys are gonna see my children, okay? Okay. Is that all? Do you have any question for me? Okay.
Well, it was fun.
It was fun. I hope you guys have gotten to know me a little bit more. And now, next up, we have some interesting questions. We have some interesting episodes. We have your guests, your faves. And I cannot wait for you guys to watch that. I know you guys are going to love it because I have amazing content for you guys. But you guys have to like, subscribe, and tell a friend that guys have a podcast named Identity. For me and my gang, we're going to say bye. And on the next episode, we have one of our faves, one of my personal faves, one of your personal faves, the one and only team, commonly known as 10 Pin Isma.